It is time to engage with family, community, your spiritual source, and the world, which needs your talents. Don't just grow old, aim high, and claim the gifts of elderhood. Many other adults are seeking an empowering vision for their future, but find that hard to come by in a world that glorifies youth and has largely forgotten the gifts that can accompany the life stage of elderhood. 64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy. Welcome to the Book of the Week series. Every week as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. My name is Igor S.F. Walker. Today we look at conscious living, conscious aging, claiming the gifts of elderhood by Ron Pevny. So how about you slow down and relax? Reduce all that noise for just a bit. Make that choice and decide to listen. In this video, we'll look at a book about aging with awareness and intention, rather than merely growing old. We explored the idea of aging consciously. Stick around till the end. I will share with you some tools I have in use that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management. While our need for financial and physical security is certainly important, it is equally important to fulfill the needs of our emotional and spiritual selves, our desire to thrive, as well as survive. Conscious living, conscious aging is about that big personal transition from midlife adulthood to elderhood. And it is clearer than ever that we do not experience our personal transitions in a vacuum. The choices we make in how we live affect how we give our elder gifts to a world that is urgently in need of people who actually live consciously, who live for more than just themselves. Prevailing societal myth that aging is primarily defined by decline, disengagement, and disappointment. They show that such experiences are only a fraction of the larger reality of this life stage. See, the positive aging movement can help many people find greater satisfaction and feel more empowered as they do become senior adults. But so much more is possible, and it is the critical contribution of conscious eldering, which recognizes the importance of prioritizing inner growth, purpose, and the spiritual dimension of life. This exploration is the foundation upon which people can most effectively build fulfilling lives. In our world, the word elder has been equated with frailty, being over the hill, past the stage of significantly contributing to the community, living in recreation-oriented, gated communities, if one can afford it, and being a drain on the country's resources. It's understandable that many of the older people, especially those who are still healthy and active, do not want to be identified by the term elder. However, as awareness grows, more people are learning that the often disempowering term elder has the potential to reflect something vastly different, a level of growth and service that is actually critical to the well-being of the community. Conscious eldering means being intentional in all of our decisions rather than acting out of habit or societal programming. It requires working to get in touch with our deepest yearnings for our elder years and creating a lifestyle that supports our personal fulfillment. It actually involves strengthening our connection and the spiritual dimension of ourselves, where our passions and our callings actually flow from. And it also means that we work to transform our inner blockages, beliefs, attitudes, unhealed wounds, unexamined life experiences that impede that flow. See, Carl Jung, the preeminent researcher of the human psyche, characterized this reality in this oft-quoted passage. Wholly unprepared, we take the step into the afternoon of life. Worst still, we take this step with the false presupposition that our truths and our ideals will serve us as hitherto, but we cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning. For what was great in the morning will be little at evening, and what in the morning was true will at the evening have become a lie. Carl Jung. What is important is to recognize that something begins to shift. For most people, as they begin to approach the retirement age and envision the life beyond, those attuned to the needs of their psyches and promptings of their souls are aware of this shift. Those not so attuned may not be aware. In either case, it is happening. There's a subtle inner call to introspection and less focus on other activities. This call includes a tendency to spend time looking back on life experiences and trying to make sense of them. It brings into our awareness the subject of legacy, the legacy we have created so far and the legacy we have the potential to manifest as elders. Becoming conscious means becoming increasingly aware of who we are and the most authentic levels of ourselves, aware of the part of ourselves that is conditioned by the many often disempowering messages implanted by the society and the family, aware of our emotions, how they operate in us, aware of our talents, passions, aspirations, and deepest callings, aware of our strengths and weaknesses, aware of our attitudes, beliefs, habits, shadow elements that disempower us, that block our radiance, and sabotage our potential. See, throughout human history, elders have been nurturers of community, spiritual leaders, guardians of traditions, teachers. They have been the storytellers. They have helped the younger generations inherit the enduring wisdom and deeper meanings of life that actually lie beneath the surface. In his book, The Nature and the Human Soul, Bill Plotkin summarizes the role of elders by noting that they have traditionally contributed to the human and more than human communities by defending and nurturing the innocence and wonder of children, mentoring and initiating adolescents, mentoring adults in their soul work, guiding cultural evolution or transformation, maintaining the balance between human culture and the larger earth community. See, our challenge today is creatively defining this role and according it the honor and respect it does deserve. This redefinition is a work in progress. As are those of us feeling called to elderhood, we make conscious, intentional efforts to grow so that our elder gifts can naturally flow. Conscious elders I have known, who are in their later elderhood, serve the community less through visible projects or activities than through their relationships. They radiate the compassion, the peace, the wisdom, and joy that actually emerge as their souls shine. The results of their commitment to inner growth. People of all ages are attracted to their radiance. This work heals life wounds, releases old baggage, develops spiritual connection, and nurtures the vision, the passion, and the sense of purpose that are all necessary for serving as true elders in the community. Our spectacular contemporary world is actually characterized by a dearth of meaningful, emotionally and spiritually empowering rites of passage to help people realize the potential fullness of each of life's stages. Deep wisdom about human growth has been lost. As they pass through life, people are expected to move from one ill-defined stage to another, alone, with little psychological and spiritual preparation. The two areas where this lack is most detrimental to personal and societal well-being, the ambiguous passages from adolescence into adulthood, an equally amorphous passage from career-focused adulthood into early elderhood. Our work is to leave behind what will not serve us in the life's next stage, to carry forward those qualities and gifts that actually will serve us well, and to discover and embody new gifts, new potentials that actually expand our ability to find fulfillment while serving the greater community in our new life's roles. If this inner work of transition is not accomplished, our growth is slowed and our potential is not fulfilled. All life, human and other than human, requires endings and beginnings in order to thrive. If we humans are stuck in a life stage, a life that may have previously felt fulfilling loses its zest and we stagnate. Our efforts to experience aliveness may becoming increasingly futile, dysfunctional, desperate. We lose connection with any vision of who we can become beyond who we have been or are now. Hope becomes replaced by resignation, aliveness by numbness, growth by stagnation, and authenticity by conformity. The role of elder is a natural archetypal role deeply ingrained in the human psyche. The call to elderhood has found expression in virtually all human culture. This is true even today in a modern world that has lost touch with nature, without and within. At the heart of conscious eldering lies a commitment to do all we can to prepare for answering this inner call. This is a much more difficult task. And in yesterday's indigenous societies, where the process and the goal were actually clearly defined, it actually involves more than making slight modification to our inner and outer lives as we age. For many people, a key to passion-inspiring vision is an experience of having a deep, essential connection with other people, other living beings, and the earth itself. Throughout this experience of interrelatedness, we become aware on an intuitive, heart-centered level, rather than just on a conceptual level, of how our personal qualities and gifts can best serve the greater good. A very powerful image is that of believing that our ongoing resentment is somehow putting the offender in prison, when actually it is us that we are imprisoned by them, by our anger and our closed hearts. The reality is that most of the time our lingering resentment has little, if any, effect on the offender and a big effect on us. See, forgiveness does not in any way excuse the act. Forgiveness does not absolve the offender from harming or legal or karmic consequences for their actions. Forgiveness does not mean that we will resume a relationship with the other person, although such reconciliation may be possible and even right. It might well be the case that for our emotional or our physical protection, that kind of relationship just cannot happen. Forgiveness is a multi-layered process rather than a single act. A process that may have to be repeated over and over and over and over each time when we uncover another layer and become more complete. What forgiveness does, it enables us to fully experience the pain of the hurt and then let it go, allowing the karma of the wounding act back to the offender where it actually belongs. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the past, but it does open up the future, rather than keeping us emotionally stuck in a past that cannot be changed. Part of being conscious elder is recognizing when we need help and we are willing to utilize it. Having the courage and having the insight to seek the help we need to heal our past is actually a reflection of our strength rather than an indicator of our weakness. As you do look back on our lives with focus and careful attention, we see patterns, we see events, we see experiences that over time have constellated into the stories that actually shape our behavior, our attitudes, our aspirations. And it comes into our awareness, creating the opportunity to look at our experience with new eyes. More vulnerability than when we were as children or younger adults, to ascertain whether our original interpretation of these experiences are indeed accurate and they will serve our well-being as we age. Conscious eldering is about much more than just getting goals and intentions as we age. It is also about becoming conscious of decisions and transforming the aspects of ourselves that actually stand in our way and are more powerful than our willpower in shaping the future. Death Lodge work helps prepare us for a beginning as well as an end. It actually frees up our energy. It opens our heart so that we can live and serve as fully as possible as conscious elders. Then, when our physical death arrives, we can pass through that portal as whole beings who have done our work of healing. To use an old Native American expression, it can be a good day to die. Death Lodge work is not easy. It requires us to face our mortality, to uncover and deal with difficult dynamics in ourselves, in our relationships with others. It is work that is very easily postponed with the rationale that we will do it later when we are really old. When death seems nearer and more tangible, I encourage you to remember these two facts. You do not know when death is near. And the more of this work you do as you do age, the more alive, vibrant, inspired, and peaceful you will be in the life's elder chapters. The inner work of conscious eldering plays a critical role in determining whether you become merely old or a vibrant, passionate, and ever-growing conscious elder. When you are ready to engage with the process, I do encourage you to spend as much time as possible in silence and ideally in nature, getting in touch with your inner guidance, exploring with your heart and your mind what your life could look like in your elderhood if you are thriving in all the areas that I have outlined before. What could it look like to have a healthy life, enhancing relationships? What could it look like to use your wisdom and your gifts in service to other beings and the earth itself? What would your life look like if you were thriving physically and mentally, if you were thriving spiritually, if your life had abundant opportunities for pleasure, learning, and excitement as you do this work? Do not just think of possibilities. Feel them. Envision them. The reality in your mind's eye, and feel what it would be like if they were reality. Becoming increasingly conscious of what we can contribute, of that place where the world's needs best intersect our best passions, calling, is actually the primary goal of the journey of the conscious eldering. It is not the only goal, But the more conscious we become, the more we realize that it is necessary for the fulfillment of our other goals. See, for many of us, it is tempting to try to skip past the often difficult inner work as we do try to chart a course for our elder years. Conscious eldering implies a commitment to doing our very best to increase our awareness of what nurtures the best in us and what doesn't, and making lifestyle decisions that actually reflect this awareness. A conscious elder is committed to living more and more with intention and less out of habit. The world has been turned upside down. I need not repeat the all too familiar litany of environmental, social, political, and pandemic upheavals, assailing our sense of safety, our sense of normalcy and well-being. Collectively, so much of an old, dysfunctional chapter is ending, and so much needs to be let go. Desperate attempts to hold on to the past are actually futile. We have been thrust into transition and a state of inner and outer chaos. Those qualities and attitudes that we actually counted on to make our lives good are inadequate in dealing with the changes and challenges in our lives now. Human evolution is at a critical point. The spiritual energies supporting humanity's growth to the next stage are extraordinarily strong now, but so are the energies of denial, polarization, desperation, and unconsciousness that resist this transformation. In this context of heightened energy, each action we take to use our elder gifts to bring life to darkness, to bring light to darkness, is amplified. Each effort we take to grow in consciousness is supported by a strong evolutionary impulse. This passage has the potential to move humanity from adolescence to maturity. In this time of momentous transition, we are individually and collectively disoriented, confused, uncertain of the future and of what is true, altering between hope and despair. Yet, collectively, as is true in personal passages, we do have glimpses of what a transformed world can be like. We see little of this vision of possibility in the media, but it is very present in the lights that so many projects, organizations, and individuals' actions shine in the darkness. Remember that the neutral zone is that place where the seeds of life are just beginning to grow. We were made for these times. Our commitment to conscious elderhood has been preparing us, and now, more than ever, we need to find and embrace kindred spirits to support each other in taking advantage of this opportunity for personal and collective transformation. My desire is to be an active participant in all that I experience throughout my life. I am grateful to be in this spiritual journey as I continue to earn my angel wings, one feather at a time. And there you have it. Conscious living, conscious aging. Please do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share it too and spread the word. Do leave a comment and share your thoughts. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. And the link to this book is in the description below. So buy it, read, never stop learning, especially learning about yourself and nature. So gift yourself by taking the free human needs test on my website. Find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. And if you are ready to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management even further, do check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links are in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.